Imagine you are in the middle of a storm, surrounded by chaos, an argument at work, the betrayal of a friend, fears for the future, and yet you stand there calmly like there is a rock inside of you. This is not because you do not care, but rather because you have control over yourself. You are master of your emotions and not their slave. Today, we will discuss how to manage our emotions stoically, like the ancient philosophers did. We will learn how to maintain clarity and inner peace even in the toughest times. We will explore how we can stay calm in any situation, becoming a support for ourselves and others. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for every like, comment, and subscription. These are not just numbers, they are energy that fuels our channel's growth. Your support is like the air we breathe, essential to our project's success. If you are not yet with us, please join us. Together, we grow, we become stronger, and we learn to be better every day. May this day bring you strength, inner peace, and light. Remember, nothing and no one can control you if you have control over yourself. And now, let's start. Imagine you're in the middle of a storm, surrounded by people who are shouting, accusing, and pressuring you. But you stand still like a rock, not because you are cold or indifferent, but because there is clarity inside you. This strength was taught by the Stoics, and that's what we will talk about today. Emotions are not enemies. They are signals that help us understand our feelings. But when there are too many signals and they overwhelm us, they turn into a storm. The Stoics' task is to learn how to listen to these signals without letting them take control of us. As Seneca said, anger is a momentary madness. When we let anger take over us, we lose control and clarity. We lose our power. So the Stoics didn't suppress emotions, they directed them. The first step is conscious observation. When you feel yourself getting overwhelmed, take a break and simply say to yourself, I'm angry. This is enough to bring your mind back to the present moment. We regain our choice. It's like being at the edge of a storm. The sky hasn't yet burst with lightning, but you can feel the tension in the air. Stoics learn to recognize this moment, not after the storm has passed, but before it hits. This is key. The next step is breathing. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, faced daily challenges such as wars, betrayals, and death. But he said, withdraw within yourself. There's a source within you that can always provide peace. This source is our breath. Take slow, deep breaths. As you breathe out, release the tension, not just the emotion, but the physical tension it brings. Repeat this process, and step by step, you will regain your balance. This can be done anywhere, in a queue, on public transport, in a busy office. No one will know that you are regaining control of your emotions right now. This is true strength, invisible but unyielding. The third practice is called rethinking. Stoics call it translating from the language of emotion to the language of logic. For example, if you have been wrongly accused, there is a storm of emotions inside you. But you can ask yourself, what actually happened? What is within my control? In this way, you create a distance between your emotions and yourself. Not in a sense of indifference, but in a sense of wisdom. You don't suppress your feelings, but you understand them. An important idea in Stoic philosophy is that you don't choose events, but you choose how you react. It's not magical. It's a skill that can be developed like a muscle. Every day, every annoyance, every unpleasant situation can be used to practice this skill. The next time someone cuts you off on the road or uses rude language, don't respond immediately. Take a moment to pause and consider your response. This is your training session, and you are becoming a philosopher rather than just a participant in a drama. Practice evening assessments to manage your emotions. Before going to bed each night, ask yourself these 3 questions. How did I feel today? Where did I lose control? And how can I be more wise next time? These simple reflections will turn your day into a learning experience. You will no longer be a slave to your emotions, but rather a researcher of your own soul. You are getting stronger each day. As Seneca said, it's not the things that bother us, but our opinions about them that matter. When you begin to shift your perspective, you will realize that you have the power to influence your feelings. You are the boss in your own life, not a guest. The 4th practice is awareness of the finiteness of life. It may sound gloomy, but when you remember that every moment could be your last, you will stop wasting it on irritations, resentments, and quarrels. This is true freedom. Marcus Aurelius in his diary wrote, "You may die right now. Let every action be worthy of someone who knows this." These are strong words, but they are liberating, bringing focus to the most important thing. Let's say someone you love was rude to you, and your first reaction is to react rudely in return. But what if you remembered that this could be your last interaction? You would choose to speak with dignity and understanding, choosing wisdom over anger. The Stoics teach that there is a pause between stimulus and response, and in this pause lies our strength. We have the choice not to be controlled by our feelings, but to be the director of our lives. The 5th tool is mental separation. Imagine yourself putting an emotion on a table. You look at it, analyze it, and decide what to do with it. It's just an image, but it works. It gives you power. Epictetus said, "You're not worried about the event itself, but about how you perceive it. Change your perception, and the storm will subside." It's not about giving up on feelings, it's about learning to manage them. Imagine a general on the battlefield. He sees chaos, but he doesn't scream or panic. He thinks, analyzes, and makes decisions. Your life is like a battlefield, and you're the commander. There's chaos, but you bring order to it. The 6th tool is gratitude. When you're angry or annoyed, find 5 things you're grateful for. It shifts your focus like a lantern in a dark room. Gratitude is not an escape from emotions. It is a reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always light. Even when we are angry, we can find a moment of peace. We can do this. The 7th technique is internal dialogue. The Stoics often talk to themselves asking, "What would a wise person do in this situation?" Try it for yourself. When you are stressed, ask yourself, "What would Seneca say?" This internal mentor can be your compass, guiding you back to calm. Let these words become your anchors, reminding you that it will pass. You're more than your emotions, and you choose dignity. Remember that you are not the first to go through difficult times, and you will not be the last. But you can be the one to overcome them with dignity, becoming an example for others. Emotions are part of us, but they are not who we are. We have the power of consciousness and choice. We have inner silence even when the outside world is loud. To control oneself is not about being a rock. It's more about being fluid, powerful, and indestructible like water. Water doesn't argue with a rock. It simply flows around it. Over time, it can even change the shape of a rock. When you choose to remain calm, you strengthen your inner strength and become a creator rather than a victim of your emotions. Every time you stay calm, your soul becomes harder. If you watch this video until the end, congratulations! You've taken the first step towards inner strength and emotional resilience. Now, you have the skills to manage your feelings and stay calm in challenging situations. You can choose mindfulness over outbursts, which is a sign of strength. Please like this video if it was valuable for you. In the comments, let me know which part of the video you found most helpful. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Your support means a lot to me, and it shows that topics like spiritual strength, inner balance, and wisdom are important to you too. And if we get at least 10 likes, I will prepare a new video on how Stoics dealt with pain, loss, and grief, and how practices can help us deal with complex emotions with dignity and inner strength.